Why are you so close to him? Give him some space.
No.
You just elbowed him by accident.
Hello, and welcome to episode 7 of Kicking Trees. Today, we are reviewing Thunderbolts Asterix. I'm Carter.
I'm Xander.
Let's get to it. Did you like the movie?
I liked it. I thought it was an enjoyable film.
Do you give in to the hype everyone's saying that Marvel is back? They're back to form.
That's a complicated question because I don't think, people were hating on them too much already, I thought.
Okay.
And then this was just like a solid movie. And I think because their hate was so low on the bar, they saw a solid movie and were like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
So now, I don't think you've seen a lot of the ones that people hate on, though.
Yeah, because I know they're going to be bad.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't make me think Marvel's just in the shitter now. I just skipped some bad movies and I'm like, yeah, they'll get their balance again. Because they always had some stinkers throughout the line.
This is true.
They've never had like a perfect streak in any phase.
No, now their latest streak is Deadpool and Wolverine. I liked that.
I liked that
good.
one too. That was a good time.
And then they did Brave New World, Captain America Brave New World. I thought that was fine.
I didn't like that one very much.
You didn't? Okay. And then Thunderbolts, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it, I think just a tiny bit more than you did from what you've said already.
What made you like it?
I thought the dynamics with all the characters were fun. I liked that not each character, but the characters seemed more human. A lot of the times in the Marvel movies, I find that they lack some personal life in them.
Some humanity?
Some humanity, yeah.
Okay.
They're so busy with their superhero stuff, they don't give them an actual life. But the U.S. agent was dealing with his family and his family leaving him. Yelena was dealing with depression and all that. Sentry, obviously, depression as well.
I liked Yelena's depression arc, and I liked that she was the main character.
I liked it too, because out of everyone there, she's going to be the main character.
And of the more recent additions to Marvel, Florence Pugh, just a big actress.
She's got the star power.
Yeah, she's got star power, and she's just likable.
Yeah.
I would say her and Haley Steinfeld are on a similar stardom level.
Yeah, I would say that. They can rock Marvel now.
But they're not doing anything with Kate Bishop.
They should be.
They should be.
It's foolish not to.
I thought she was going to be in this.
Why, though?
Because Kate Bishop lives in New York. She knows Yelena. I thought Yelena would call her up or something. Just a cameo.
Where do you think Kate Bishop will show up next?
I have no idea.
I guess in Avengers Doomsday.
I don't even know if she's going to be in that.
Back to Thunderbolts.
Okay. So that team composition, they basically have 3 Captain Americas. I think the team comp needed to be a little spicier.
I thought that for a while, because they're all humans.
Well, even if they're all humans, like we got Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, and Bucky.
Yeah.
That's 3 Captain Americas, basically.
Bucky's a little different.
They were even talking about that in the movie when Red Guardian and Bucky were talking about their super soldier serum. It's like, what kind do you have?
Oh, yeah. In the movies, is U.S. Agent super soldier serum better than the others?
I think he's stronger.
He is in
If I recall the events of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
He did get a better one?
I think he did.
Okay.
But who can say?
Yeah, I can't remember. Not the most memorable show.
No. And I liked Ghost's inclusion because it was right after Ant-Man and the Wasp. I said they're going to put Ghost on a Thunderbolts team. That's the only one I got right.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, what else are they going to do with her?
And she had a distinction of possibly being the first Marvel villain, aside from Loki and Sam Rockwell, that they didn't kill at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that could be very correct. I can't think of, Taskmaster until this movie.
Yeah, and I think Ghost was before Taskmaster.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, wow. They're a bunch of murderers.
They are.
Yeah.
So now, full spoiler review. What did you think of Taskmaster just being offed right at the beginning?
That was dumb.
It was.
I didn't care if Taskmaster was going to die in this movie, but the way she showed up just to be shot in the head, and it didn't serve any purpose to the story. She didn't have to be there. She could have just not shown up, not died. It's the exact same movie.
I think there was intention there, and it was so Yelena could see someone similar to her living a violent life that ended violently. And that was something Yelena reiterated at some point.
Have you seen the stuff that was saying that the Taskmaster was supposed to have a bigger part in the movie?
In an earlier draft of the script, and she would bond with Ghost and stuff, and then have memory issues and attack U.S. Agent.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, I didn't, actually.
No?
No.
That's an amazing guess. Because that's exactly what it was. Yeah, and then apparently people were saying it was too Black Widow focused or something.
The movie?
With Taskmaster's inclusion, because then from the Black Widow movie, you got Yelena, Red Guardian, and Taskmaster.
Well, the thing with the Black Widow movie is they did introduce a bunch of new characters, and you can't do a direct sequel to Black Widow.
Yeah.
So I think this was their way around that.
Would you have preferred if Taskmaster had a bigger part in everything you just guessed?
I don't care.
No, I don't really care.
Yeah, I
either. It probably would have been. I would have liked it the same amount either way.
People are like, they had to kill off Taskmaster so they could introduce a comic accurate Tony Masters. They're not doing that. I'm sorry to break your heart. That's not happening.
Why don't you think that'll happen?
No, I love me some Taskmaster.
Yeah.
But first of all, where is that going to happen?
If Deadpool were to continue, he could show up in that.
So Taskmaster, he has a skull face.
Yeah.
And I've heard a thing or two that the skull face gets censored by China or something. So they don't want to include that in Marvel movies.
Well, he could just wear a mask.
Like his udon look.
Is that not a noodle?
It is a noodle, but that was also an art studio.
I don't know his udon look.
That's when he is more armored and he's on that bike. There's that cover of him on
Oh
the
my
bike.
god,
with
I think
Deadpool.
I actually do know what you're saying. Yeah, they could
Yeah.
do a different look.
Okay. But they're going to introduce him in a Deadpool movie then.
Yeah, why not?
The next Deadpool movie is rumored to be Deadpool and the X-Men.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
It's
What about
apparently in
The
very...
X-Men movie.
I don't know.
They can't do that.
They would hold it off.
They'd hold off the X-Men to make Deadpool and the X-Men?
Deadpool and Wolverine made like $1 billion.
That seems like
Ill-advised?
a horrible idea.
Well, originally the next saga was supposed to be the Mutant Saga, but now it's rumored they're switching to Annihilation.
I didn't know that either. Why are they doing that?
These are all just rumors.
Oh, okay. So you're thinking they're making Deadpool and the X-Men so they could do an Annihilation story? Who are they doing an Annihilation story with?
See, that's what I was wondering, because that would be a
Their
lot of...
Guardians are gone.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of Marvel Cosmic.
But that they don't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they would try to get the Nova movie or series off the ground.
Yeah, and he would be the main person for it.
And they have been saying Star-Lord will return.
Oh, I heard a rumor about Star-Lord as well, showing up in Doomsday to help. It's gone.
All right.
Oh, no.
Another thing with Thunderbolts, obviously, at the end, they get rebranded the New Avengers.
Yeah.
But they don't have Sentry. He's not using his powers.
Well, I think he will occasionally.
But then they're set up to fight whoever's on Sam Wilson's Avengers team.
In the New Avengers by Bendis, he was like that and couldn't use his powers. And then just whenever they were in some really hot water,
He would get out?
We got to take the chance here, Sentry.
Okay.
So I think that's their
Acceptable.
plan.
I do have a theory on Sentry.
What?
You know that scene from the Hickman Secret Wars when God Emperor Doom is there and then Thanos strolls up to him and then he rips out Thanos' spine?
You think it'll be Sentry?
They're gonna... They did Thanos already.
Yeah.
No point showing him get dummied. But they just introduced the new strongest guy ever.
Yeah.
Who else are they gonna showcase God Emperor Doom's power?
That would be some
I
classic
guess.
Sentry as well. Have him be all powerful just to get shit on.
Yeah,
That's his thing.
that is his thing.
It'll be like when Null showed up and just ripped him in half in King in Black.
How did he come back after Thor ripped him in half?
Thor smashed his face in.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. I don't know. Like, because then he had that comic, his own comic, like a 4-issue series by something Lou, where there was like
There's
two other
more
sentries or something.
Yeah, he
and
had like
then-
a Marvel family.
And he came back in that, but I don't know how because I didn't read that comic.
He also came back as a Horseman of Apocalypse, actually.
After Siege?
In Uncanny Avengers.
Okay, so
After
that would have been
Siege.
after he...
Yeah.
This is a time where we should explain. So in Siege, a comics event by Marvel, a culmination of a long Avengers run, Sentry was overtaken by the Void, and it took a whole team of New Avengers, Avengers, and Dark Avengers to get Sentry and the Void separated for just a bit, and then he was back to Bob, and they're like, you're pretty dangerous now, and then I think Captain America probably was like, I shouldn't be a part of this, and then Thor walked up to Bob and was like, I'm sorry, and he smashed his face in, because Sentry is just too dangerous with the Void, so best to take care of that right away.
Was he a normal powered Sentry when Thor smashed his head in? Or was he slightly depowered when they separated him from the Void?
I can't remember. He might have been back to Bob even. No, because I think Thor had to do it. He wasn't at full power because he was just beaten down a bit.
Okay.
Why?
Because there's a lot of debate on if Thor could beat Sentry.
Oh, I hate that.
I think Thor would beat Sentry.
No.
You don't think he would?
Sentry was fully down on the
Yeah.
ground, and then Thor was only able to kill him by smashing his face in while Sentry was down. Before that, it had just took 3 whole teams of heroes.
Was Thor there?
Yeah, he was there.
Okay.
And Iron Man and Iron Patriot and the Marvel Universe was weak at the time. But like there was other superpowered teams.
Okay.
They didn't have Hulk or anything though.
Because he just didn't want to show up.
He was,
He was alive at that time.
but I don't know if he was, that was shortly after World War Hulk. He was really mad at them.
Now you mentioned Sentry's real name being Bob.
Yeah.
I did not care for the Bob jokes in Thunderbolts.
What Bob jokes?
They were always making,
Oh, just because his name is Bob?
yeah, they were always making jokes about that. They were yelling, Bob, Bob. It wasn't just saying his name. It was intended as a joke.
I didn't even think it was a joke.
No, it was.
Okay.
The theater was laughing.
The theater laughs at everything.
Okay.
The
So
people
clear-
behind us in the theater were horrible.
They were.
They were laughing at everything, and explaining things as they were happening, like no one understood.
Yeah, just they were visually impaired,
Yeah.
commentarying the events of the film, and it's just, I love the cinema. I love going to the theater,
It's a good time.
but I also hate the cinema.
Because
I
of
hate
those
going
people.
to the theater.
Yeah.
But the Bob things, those are like Minions level jokes. There's a minion named Bob.
There is a
and the
minion
whole
named
joke
Bob.
is saying his name.
Yeah. I think he does just go Bob.
The Minions?
Well, Sentry didn't do it. Yeah, the Minions.
Oh, and he's yellow and blue like a minion.
Was Sentry based off the Minion Bob?
Let us know.
Perhaps in the next Minions movie, Bob will become all-powerful. Which I do hear there's a sequel coming.
To the Minions movie?
Yes.
Is it another prequel? Or wait, isn't there already 2 Minions movies?
There might be, yeah. Well, they have to finish the trilogy now.
That's true. Because there's Minions 1, and then I swear Rise of Gru was the sequel.
Oh, with Kid Gru.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, we didn't even finish explaining what we were talking about.
I don't know anything about Uncanny Avengers by Rick Remender.
Oh, it was by Rick Remender.
Yeah, I only read Jerry Dugan's.
Okay, I was going to pass it over to you so you could explain that part.
I cannot explain it. My apologies.
I do want that comic, so one day I'll
Yes.
read it
Until
and
then,
explain it.
Let us know in the comments what
Yeah.
happened in Rick Remender's Uncanny Avengers.
The Sentry stuff mostly,
Yeah.
or whatever you want to
Give
share.
us a full recap.
Yeah,
Another thing with this movie is, so they're the new Avengers at the end, but 3 of their 5 members, because I don't think Sentry's a public-facing superhero at the end of that movie, 3 of their 5 Avengers are Russian operatives.
is that Red Guardian, Yana, and Bucky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
In world.
and then U.S. agent publicly murdered a man.
I think they're
Why?
fine with that. That's okay.
Why?
Like the spin was that guy was like a terrorist and whatever. That's redeemable. He's an American agent.
Okay.
Just
Well, Bucky's
optics
redeemed as
wise.
well. He was a governor or something, some sort of government figure.
He was a congressman, which I get they've absolved Bucky legally, I guess. But I think he's known in world as the Winter Soldier, and he was doing terrorist stuff and blowing things up.
Wait, how public knowledge is him being Winter Soldier in the Marvel universe, in the MCU?
Winter Soldier blowing up stuff in Civil War was on the news and televised.
As Bucky Barnes as well, or just the Winter Soldier is doing this
I don't remember if they ID'd him as Bucky.
to the public?
Yeah,
Yeah, me neither.
let us know.
That could be a workaround.
I think they did.
Yeah, I think they did too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, what you're saying is completely correct. They're not an Avengers team. They can't be a public Avengers team.
No, because that's bad optics.
Yeah, it looks horrible. Also, this woman who was like just nearly impeached brings this team up.
Bad optics.
Yeah, it looks horrible.
Back to Sam Wilson's Avengers team. That's going to be presumably a stacked team. And I don't think Sentry's immediately helping them out. I think he's sitting it out. Oh, that's another. This movie, it crushed my dreams of Avengers versus X-Men.
Why?
Because they set up that conflict with this Avengers team and Sam's Avengers team.
So it'll be Avengers versus
I
Avengers.
think they're going to do Avengers versus Avengers. They're going to be too busy squabbling to save their universe from an incursion.
Oh, but originally you thought it was going to be Avengers versus X-Men because one would want the incursion and one wouldn't?
One would, because it was it was survival of the fittest during the incursions. So now I'm worried that they're going to kill off the X-Men immediately
And have
in the opening scene.
Like, you kill off the old X-Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they should just call that movie Avengers versus X-Men at this point. If that's what they're doing, that prints money right there.
It does, instead of Doomsday.
Yeah.
I saw a theory that the new Avengers would be for destroying the other planet.
Yeah. Okay. That checks out.
And then Sam's team, should we explain an incursion?
An incursion is when 2 Earths are overlapping and only one can continue to exist.
2 Earths from 2 different universes.
So we're clearly not talking about counter Earth that exists on the opposite end of the solar system, okay? That's different.
Yeah, it's when 2 Earths from 2 different universes are getting close to hitting each other in the universal lines. Because when one Earth gets destroyed, there's a beautiful diagram in it in Jonathan Hickman's run of Avengers. It messes things up, and then 2 universes get hit each other. Earth is the hitting point. So then they have a choice to destroy another universe's Earth, which is immoral because they'd be killing a world of people, or find another way, or possibly let 2 whole universes die, because when they collide, both universes will explode.
And when they destroy the other universe's Earth, the rest of that universe continues to live and
Yeah.
everything.
So it's one world for two whole universes.
Yeah, so that's how it becomes survival of the fittest. So I can see this team being for that, but I don't see how they're fighting off Sam's team of Avengers.
And who's on Sam's team here?
So presumably, fully a guess.
Okay.
They for sure got Ant-Man there.
Yeah.
Sam and Ant-Man are friends.
Are they?
Yep.
Okay. They got the Hawkeyes?
Sam was in Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What? When?
Which one?
What?
He was in the first Ant-Man because Ant-Man had to go steal something from the Avengers compound.
Okay, I don't remember that.
And then he has a cameo in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh!
During Louise's retelling of the events of the film.
Okay, yeah. And that makes them best friends.
Falcon's the one that recruited Ant-Man during Civil War.
I was just making fun of you there. I do agree he would be on Sam's team.
I
I don't think they're best friends, but he would be on Sam's team.
don't think Wasp is there because Evangeline Lilly has retired.
Okay.
And
She could just give up superheroing.
yeah, I do think She-Hulk is there.
She-Hulk might be enough to take this team without Sentry.
Easy.
Yeah, not might. See, She-Hulk is enough to take the whole team.
Easy. Whether they're a newer character. They got to follow up with Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
So I think
He would be there.
I do think he's there.
If you take She-Hulk out so far, it's a fight. It's it's a good fight. No one too powerful has been mentioned except for She-Hulk.
Ant-Man could solo these guys.
Paul Rudd Ant-Man?
Yeah.
He's not he's not comic Ant-Man tough.
He bested Kang the Conqueror in hand-to-hand. Okay?
No, he didn't. Not in hand-to-hand.
In Quantumania, his powers weren't working. He bested him in
He was
hand-to-hand.
going to lose that fight, and then Wasp had to jump through the portal and shoot him or something.
No, he punched him, and then they sucked him into a wormhole.
After he got saved by Wasp
It was a
once
shrinking wormhole. He beat Kang the Conqueror. That's all I'm saying.
So you're saying Paul Rudd Ant-Man's going to show up to this team, he's going to put the helmet down.
Yeah.
And just take them all down with his ant martial arts.
Yeah, he knows Ant Fu.
Okay.
Okay, here's the facts. Kang the Conqueror, they were setting him up as the next Thanos-level threat. So presumably, he is near Thanos level in Quantumania.
Yes.
Ant-Man soloed.
They must have been planning for that not to be the main Kang or something. Because otherwise, nothing they were planning would work. Because, he had a lot of help.
At the end there, no, everyone
Hank
left him.
Pym made him get eaten by giant ants first. And then when he was fist fighting Kang, Wasp did jump through the portal at the last second and shoot Kang a bit.
So I'm not going to count the Hank Pym one, because that just got rid of Kang's tech. And Ant-Man wasn't fighting him with tech, because his tech was gone as well.
Kang is all tech.
No, Kang's a master combatant.
There's no way this Kang was.
He was. He killed all the Avengers.
I'm quite sure Ant-Man wasn't winning that fist fight. In my
He was
memory of
winning it.
No, he broke his arm. Kang was going to kill him.
Okay, so Marvel versus Capcom. You can call someone in for a quick assist.
Yeah.
Who won that fight? The quick assist or the people fighting?
The people fighting, but also it should be taken into account that they got an assist.
Okay, he got a quick assist.
Because also Marvel vs. Capcom, your one character isn't winning. The team of three is winning.
Okay, so he beat Kang with an assist from Wasp, but still a majority of that final fight was
also, you can't
fisticuffs.
just say he beat Kang when he beat Kang without any of the technology as well. When you say you beat
Well, he didn't
Kang,
have his own technology.
That's true. You got me there.
Yeah.
That's a shit movie.
I'm just saying Ant-Man solos. So Ant-Man, he can throw things to shrink people.
That might be not good
The hell
to do to them because then they're still just as strong but small and you can't see them. U.S. Agent would grab his foot and kill him. A punch from small U.S. Agent would break his bones.
It's true. It wouldn't break his bones, actually.
It wouldn't break Ant-Man's bones?
No. He would get a small puncture in his skin.
Because he's so tiny.
Yeah, the force wouldn't be distributed enough to break his bones.
But Ant-Man punches people when he's small.
He knows how to do it, though.
Paul Rudd Ant-Man knows how to do it.
Yeah.
When did he learn all this?
There was a training montage in the first Ant-Man movie.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was taught all mixed martial arts so he could take down Kang one day.
Yes. And in the comics, an untrained Ant-Man, Eric O'Grady, tries to punch someone at one point. And it just kind of makes a hole in them, and then they bleed. They're like, what the hell? They don't go flying like an Ant-Man punch normally would.
Okay. I still don't know if he could take the whole team. That's a tricky one.
Sam's also probably got Spider-Man there.
Oh, yeah. I think Spider-Man has a much better chance of taking the whole team than Ant-Man.
So he's got probably, I think Mark Ruffalo, I think Hulk, Smart Hulk is going to be semi-retired.
Yeah.
They're going to say by the time that movie comes around.
Yeah.
And then Sam will possibly have Captain Marvel even. I don't see her sitting a movie out.
No. And then she would have Ms. Marvel as well.
And Shuri.
Yeah. That's not much of a fight.
No. Which is why during the post-credit scene, there was a 14-month time jump between the end of the movie and the post-credit scene. I was expecting them to just hand wave, there's new members. We're an Avengers team now. We added the Abomination. He's kicking around.
Yeah.
And just have him CG sitting on a couch.
That would have been good.
And then I also would have added Hercules.
That would have been a nice way to just get him in here.
Just to tie up those lingering post-credit scenes.
Because how else are they getting Hercules in there?
Exactly. And then I think a plot thread on Love and Thunder. I don't quite remember that movie. I think a plot thread was people are starting to favor the Norse gods over the Greek gods. So then he was sending Hercules to have a Greek representative.
I don't quite remember, but that sounds right.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I don't remember either.
That was a rough movie as well. It's hard to remember it all.
Yeah. So I would have added Abomination and Hercules just to beef up that team. And then also throw Kate Bishop in there.
On the Thunderbolts?
Yes. Yelena called her out.
Okay. She's helping out her pal. And Bucky's a good enough person for her to help out as well. Red Guardian's not like a horrible person either. He's just a crazy man. Kate Bishop could be down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she'd be there.
Yeah.
Also, I like that Yelena was the leader of the team at the end.
Yeah.
And Bucky was her mentor.
I liked that too. They didn't even say it, but Bucky was like, you should do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
So I liked that. But again, in-universe optics-wise, are you having a former Russian assassin be the leader of your Avengers team, or are you having a U.S. congressman?
Should have been Bucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, again with Bucky, he was in this movie. He didn't have a ton to do in this movie.
No. I actually wish when they were going through the void thing, I wish they had shown what Bucky ended up in. I was hoping that they would go through the amount of rooms that there were characters on the team so we could see each person's trauma from their past.
Their bad space.
Yeah. But instead, Bucky just said, I have a great past, so my room was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Sarcastically. But it would have been nice to actually see it.
Like, we did already see a U.S. agent room, but I would have appreciated Ghost, Red Guardian, and Bucky. Easily.
Yeah, and if they were going through the whole team, the U.S. agent could just have another room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then giving Red Guardian a room would be good, because he's just been a goofy guy.
Yeah.
That I'm sure he's killed people before.
Also, if it was when they were all together running through the rooms to escape, it would have bonded them all as well, if they all saw each other's trauma.
That's true. Okay.
It would have really bonded.
That would have been much better.
Yeah. The part I did like for bonding reasons was when U.S. agent was talking about his wife and kids so much, and then Bucky mentioned how his wife left him and everything, and then while all the others were talking, Yana and U.S. agent just kind of looked at each other.
They did have a lot of good subtle things.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did settle way better than the Marvel movies usually do.
Yeah.
And also, Wyatt Russell's face in that scene was just so sad.
It was devastating.
Yeah, it was.
I do. Yeah. Back on Red Guardian's room, show him doing something terrible.
Yeah.
So that you see because he's a silly, goofy guy.
He's definitely done terrible things, though.
He has.
Yeah.
And then show that him having big regrets kind of lean into the way his life is now, because he is depressed as well, and they go to his house and everything.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, they make his depression a joke.
Yeah, that's true.
Yana's and Sentries are like, we gotta help this person.
Right.
And then Red Guardian is visibly depressed, and they're like, God, he's so annoying.
It's because he's Gen X.
Yeah, they
Probably
don't care about him.
No. Mm-mm.
They're just like, he's gonna die soon anyway.
Why? Invest resources in this.
Yeah. And Ghost could have really used some character stuff. I think she had less because they had that Taskmaster plan, but then without Taskmaster, she didn't get much to do. She was cool in the fights because she was the only
one with
powered
powers.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I loved that Sentry fight when he just bitched them all out.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was a great
It made him cool.
show of how powerful he was.
And he had telekinesis.
I was wondering about
That was
that.
a weird choice.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing to change.
Because what did he do with telekinesis?
He threw Red Guardian out the window and
Right.
held him there and everything.
Okay, originally when he blew up that glass, I thought maybe he's just using some sun stuff and heating the glass up, and that's why it exploded. Like when you pour milk into a freshly washed glass from the dishwasher,
Yeah.
it cracks.
Yeah.
But then he fully threw Red Guardian out the window and pulled him back. So
Yeah.
that did,
Held him there and everything.
yeah, which does make him a crazy amount more powerful than he already is.
Well, most Superman type powers can be explained from high level telekinesis. I think that's what they were. Did he have heat vision in this? He did, didn't he?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I think he did.
He had heat stuff happening. Also, like when someone stabbed him in the face and the knife broke. That was just all good stuff in that fight.
And I liked how they made the Void look. I thought he looked cool.
That was
shadowed
cool.
out.
Just like a fully black shaded Sentry person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite cool. And just his eyes. Also, I liked when people would get hit and they just became a shadow.
Mm-hmm. That was interesting. Visually interesting.
I saw a thing that said that those shadows were based off the Hiroshima bombings.
Ah.
Those ash people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuclear shadows.
Yeah.
Now, the movie, it did end with talk no jitsu.
I don't know what you're saying.
So in Naruto, often when there was a big bad guy, he would go up to them. After fighting them for a bit, he'd be like, hey man, you and I know what it's like to be lonely. We're like the same guy. I was on a bench by myself all the time. The village hated me. But here I am now. Power of friends.
Because they can't take them physically?
Naruto, I think, usually could.
Oh, okay.
But he just did talk no jitsu. That's what it's called.
I see.
And that's what they did in Thunderbolts and also kind of in Brave New World.
Yeah, but that's because they're putting them against such crazy powerful people.
That's why I'm saying why.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot about Red Hulk as well. They did do that there. I was expecting it the whole time for this movie.
Yeah,
like,
I
ever
was
since
too.
they announced Sentry, because they just can't take Sentry. Yeah, that's both movies in a row now. That's weird.
And that's kind of how the Fantastic Four movie's probably gonna go.
With Galactus?
No, they'll have to talk no jitsu Silver Surfer.
Oh, yeah. But then they'll still have to actually beat Galactus.
Because what's gonna happen in the Fantastic Four movie? So they announced Sue Storm's pregnant in it.
Yeah.
And now they made Silver Surfer very intentionally a woman.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna say that Silver Surfer has a dead kid or something. And then they bond over that as fellow woman.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because I could write a Marvel movie.
Okay. You think that's the only reason they chose the woman Silver Surfer?
Yes. Because it's a Sue Storm-centered movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
They've said that they're coming at it from the perspective of Sue Storm as the main character.
Oh, okay. And then do you think they'll bring in male Silver Surfer when they cross over to the new universe?
No,
No.
I don't think they're gonna have Norrin Rad.
At all?
Silver Surfer's a character where his gender doesn't matter, like, at all.
Yeah. Oh, actually, also, do you think them having a woman Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four and there currently being a comic coming out called Death of Silver Surfer and it's Norrin Rad dying is connected at all so they can bring a woman Silver Surfer into the comics and match the movies?
Is that comic set in the present?
I don't know.
I think you're onto something there.
I think I am. I thought it right now.
Yeah. I think visually, instead of doing a woman Silver Surfer, they should have had Frankie Ray Nova.
I don't know what that is.
That's the golden woman Herald of Galactus with fiery hair.
Oh, that would have been cool. That would have been way cooler.
Just because we've seen the Silver Surfer before.
Yeah. Why not change it up?
And that's just another visually interesting look.
And Galactus looks awesome in that movie.
Galactus does look sweet.
Also, you were thinking they weren't going to show the stretchy stuff of Reed Richards for a while, but they did in that trailer, and he looked pretty cool because you thought he would look gross.
He did look gross.
You're going to look gross if you're stretching our breath.
It's a gross power. So starting today, we're ranking Marvel movies as we discuss them. A tier ranking of like S, A.
We should have an episode that's a full ranking then.
Well, that's a lot of movies to talk about. We're going to rank them as they come along.
Okay, are we going to talk about the past ones as well?
Whenever a sequel to something comes out.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah. So where are you putting Thunderbolts in your ranking?
I would put it one above the middle one.
If you were
I think
going,
C.
you think it's a C movie?
Yeah, maybe B, but B seems like,
Seems a little too good.
yeah, with S, but with S there,
Did you like Thunderbolts more than Deadpool and Wolverine?
no.
There you have it.
But where am I putting Deadpool and Wolverine?
I don't know. Put it somewhere right now.
I really like that movie.
I did too.
I think A.
Yeah, I put that as A as well.
Actually, and that makes me feel like Thunderbolts is a C because it's not like just below that. It's a bit below that.
I agree. You heard it here first. Thunderbolts is a firm C rank movie.
And Deadpool and Wolverine is an A rank movie. Well, we could just say what the S ones are right now then.
No, we'll rank.
How many S ones are there going to be?
We'll rank Brave New World.
Is an S?
No, where are you putting it? Captain America, Brave New World. Where's it going on your tier list?
D.
It's a D movie, huh?
I was unimpressed by that movie.
You see, I think we're sharing a tier list.
Okay, so we have to agree.
Yeah, I'll give you a D because I don't have an argument for why it should be C.
Yeah, also, like, they set such a high bar with the previous Captain America movies, and then for this one, it was like they didn't care.
It didn't feel as coherent as Thunderbolts even.
No, it was a little all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The fights, also the Captain America movie fights before this one, were always top tier fights for Marvel movies, especially. Like, they had the best fights of all Marvel movies.
Yeah.
The Brave New World fights were pretty lame.
And in Brave New World, this isn't like a huge deal, but the passage of time, you couldn't really tell how long things were taking.
Harrison Ford was turning into Red Hulk for, I think, 3 days.
You think it was 3 days?
No, but it felt long.
Because he flew to China.
While turning?
Yeah, he was on a Air Force One to China, and then that's where they were having that big kerfuffle.
Yeah, maybe it might have been a whole day. I was joking, but it might have been like at least a day or something.
So the events of that movie, are they like a week? I don't know.
I don't know. Also, they need to keep things a secret. It would have been so cool if he turned into Red Hulk and we had no idea. Because they show him turning for so long, and it's like it's a build-up to something. We knew what it was a build-up to the whole time because of the trailers.
That one was betrayed by its marketing.
Yeah.
But also, what else are you marketing? Well, I guess
Okay, also, you just said, what else are you marketing? How could you defend the movie if you say one thing is marketable and the rest you just don't want to talk
Well, you need something to hype people up, and people aren't going to get hyped up by the leader being there.
So that means it's a bad movie if there's nothing else to hype people up about it in the whole rest of the film. In a good movie, there would be other exciting things happening, aside from this guy he has to fight just at the very end of the movie only.
Yeah, I liked Isaiah Bradley a lot. Him getting
cool to have in there.
Him getting arrested and not wanting to go back to jail, that made me sad.
Actually,
I thought
I think that was the best
job.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for him.
He's like, Sam, just leave me. Don't worry about me. They'll put you in here too and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That actor did a really good job.
Yeah. And also, that attitude is so Captain America.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I can't come back here, but I'm not going to make it, so you come in here as well.
It was good stuff.
Yeah. I think that was my favorite part.
Mine as well.
I thought the Falcon, like the new Falcon.
Joaquin?
Yeah, he could have done more, but wait, he got injured, right? Was he fully healed at the end of it?
No, he wasn't active. Or at the end or during the final
very
fight?
end. Was he fully healed again?
He was awake in the hospital at the very end.
You think they had to inject him with some Falcon genetics so he could heal?
So that's another thing with the Captain America movies. The rest of the MCU is getting so comic booky, but they're still kind of avoiding that with the Captain America movies.
Yeah, but in the comics, he's
part Falcon.
Yeah.
So you give Thunderbolts a C, Captain America a D.
Yeah.
That's our tier list. Deadpool, Wolverine A.
Is there anyone we've missed like recently that we could rate as well? I don't think so.
No. We'll update the list with Fantastic Four.
Right. What are you thinking that one will be? What's your guess? I'm guessing like a B. I don't have the highest hope, but I think it'll be good.
Just a solid film.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done talking about movies. We're going to talk about current comic books now.
Yes.
So in Green Lantern,
I loved that last issue.
they brought back Dan Garrett, original Blue Beetle.
Strange comic for it to happen in.
Exactly. And it just shocked me because where is Jeremy Adams going with this? What's he going to do with Dan
Because
Garrett?
that definitely happened because for Jeremy Adams to do something with. That's why it happened in the Green Lantern comic, I think. It's going to connect to something else Jeremy Adams is doing in the future.
I think, so that Blue Beetle has Egyptian origins.
Silver Scarab now.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know about the Silver Scarab, but Dan Garrett, when he was Blue Beetle, he had Egyptian origins. And Jeremy Adams is also doing all that stuff with Thanagar right now.
Yeah.
And the Hawks also have Egyptian origins.
Oh, there will be a connection?
I think he's going to connect them there somehow.
I could see that. I was hoping a Blue Beetles comic with the whole gang.
That's what I want.
All three Blue Beetles teaming up would be pretty cool.
Yeah. What was the last Timey comic? It was that Graduation Day?
Yeah, which I think did well, as it was limited and then it wasn't. But it still got canceled in the end.
It's the first Blue Beetle series I didn't collect since in 10 years.
How many Blue Beetle series were there in 10 years? Did you get the Keith Giffen Jaime?
Yeah.
From a long time ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I got that too.
You got all of it?
I don't know. I was like 10.
Okay.
But that'd be pretty cool if they did a Blue Beetle comic with all three of them. And he made Gold Beetle as well. He's doing stuff with the Beetle people.
Gold Beetle was just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
In Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is he's planning something.
You know, I love Blue Beetles.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just always loved Blue Beetle.
Okay, yeah. He's a cool guy.
He's just a goofy guy.
Your favorite is Ted Kord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a goofy Batman.
Yeah. He is cool.
Yeah.
I love his costume.
It's one of the greatest comic costumes ever.
Yeah, for sure. I was going to say it's the best Blue Beetle costume, but you're right. It's one of the greatest comic costumes.
Because it was designed by Steve Ditko, and his comic costume designs rarely updated.
What else has he created?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
He goes through some transformations, but you're right.
He's usually base look, though.
Yeah.
The Question.
He can never change the Question.
No.
He did a great job.
He did amazing jobs with timeless designs.
Yeah. That's true. What else is going on? I dropped Miles Morales Spider-Man. He was having such a great run for so long.
You were championing that comic
I know.
all the time.
And I think you made it worse. When you started collecting it, the quality went directly down.
Damn.
And then you dropped it, and I was like, you're being a fool right now. And then it didn't get back up.
Even though Ultimate Incursion's probably going to tie into it in some capacity.
Yeah, I'm still going to get that. Just had to drop Miles. Because I want that new Black Cat comic that's coming out soon.
Do you have a cap on how many things you can be signed up for?
No, but if there's an iffy one and I want to sign up for a few more, I'm like, I should probably drop an iffy one.
So I also signed up for Black Cat. Or you didn't get the Fantastic Four free comic book day thing?
No.
Chip Zdarsky had a really funny story at the end of that.
With the Fantastic Four?
No. It was with two new characters who were from our world, and then through a monkey paw wish got sent into the Marvel Comics world.
Are they still in that world?
Similar to Gwenpool. At the end of it, they were.
They should talk to Gwenpool.
They mentioned Gwenpool in it.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to follow it up on.
If Chip Zdarsky wrote the next Gwenpool,
that would be amazing.
Oh my God. We gotta get through this current Gwenpool with Gwen Stacy first, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be awesome.
This has been Kicking Trees, Episode 7, our Thunderbolts review. Thanks for watching. I'm Carter.
I'm Xander.
And we'll see you next week.